Following on from my recent video about Supergirl, today I want to talk about her nemesis, Galatea. Galatea was an original creation for Justice League Unlimited, but there is an undeniable parallel between her and the hero Power Girl. And for this section, I'm going to hand it over to my husband, who y'all know as Serum Lake, to talk about her complicated history.
Power Girl first appeared in All-Star Comics number 58, published in 1976. In her debut story, she was part of a subset of the Justice Society alongside Robin and the Star-Spangled Kid, calling themselves the Super Squad. It's interesting that she immediately aligned herself with other legacy characters, given that she was the Earth 2 version of Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin. When she arrived on Earth, she was in her late teens, but discovered that her cousin was now a married adult. Lois and Clark took her in to give her the family life that she had missed out on while on board her rocket, and to help her acclimatize to Earth. When the time came for her to venture off on her own, she forged her own identity separate from Superman. Rather than donning the family crest and acting as a tribute act to Superman, she was her own person. And she wasn't a teenage girl, she was a fully grown woman, which was reflected in her character design. It's almost a meme at this point, but she's mostly portrayed with large breasts with a window to her cleavage built into the costume. Since Crisis on Infinite Earths, which streamlined all of DC's continuity and got rid of the multiple Earths, Power Girl has struggled to fit in. She was initially rewritten as an Atlantean, okay, before reverting back to being a Kryptonian later on. Technically, she never appeared in the DC animated universe, unless you count the official Justice League Unlimited tie-in comics, where Power Girl just randomly showed up every now and then, and they never really explained it. The canonicity of those comics is sketchy at best, but they kind of sort of fit, maybe. But Galatea, on the other hand, was very clearly inspired by her.
Let's talk about Galatea's outfit. She wears a white long-sleeve bodysuit paired with a gold belt and white boots. The cutout design on the bodysuit suggests an effort to make her appear older or more mature alongside a fuller bust. Compared to Kara's original Supergirl suit, Galatea's all-white ensemble feels more polished and more composed. It was refreshing to see an edgier character who didn't rely on the usual all-black aesthetic to convey that edge. Her short bob haircut with side-swept bangs also adds to that sharper, more modern vibe, contrasting with the full bangs and long hair of younger Kara. Overall, it's clear the Galatea was designed to come across as a more grown-up, more hardened version of the original Supergirl. She looks like Supergirl, she sounds like Supergirl, but Galatea is something else entirely. Born not of Argo, but of calculation and cold ambition. Galatea was created in a lab, artificially aged into an adult and trained from the start to be a weapon. She isn't just a copy, she's the end result of fear, a living contingency plan. In Justice League Unlimited, Galatea is Supergirl's clone and was named after the mythical statue that came to life, with her white costume evoking the white marble of the statue. She was engineered by the secretive government agency Project Cadmus and the once trusted Professor Emil Hamilton. While Kara Enzi, the real Supergirl, came to Earth burdened by grief and driven by hope, Galatea was built to be a countermeasure, a failsafe, and a living response to the Justice League's growing power. Where Kara questions, Galatea complies. Where Supergirl offers a hand, Galatea raises a fist. She was never meant to inspire. She was never meant to feel. She was shaped into a weapon, an obedient soldier forged in the shadow of power. Not just a clone, but a reflection darkened by control and stripped of compassion. And yet, the bond between them isn't entirely severed. There's a psychic connection, an echo across the void of identity. In dreams, they glimpse one another's memories, fragments of emotion leaking through the mental wall. Galatea feels Kara's guilt, her defiance, and her stubborn hope. What's more, it disturbs her. It stirs something buried, a flicker of the original spirit trying to reach through the programming. She's not just muscle, she's haunted by what she could have been, which makes her resentful. When Galatea launches her full-scale assault in Panic in the Sky, it's a moment that's been building since her creation, enhanced beyond Kara's limits, reinforced with Cadmus's best science. Galatea is everything the agency wanted Supergirl to be: powerful, loyal, and lethal. She attacks without hesitation, a blunt force of obedience unleashed. But Kara doesn't back down. She doesn't fight because she was told to. She fights because she chooses to. Because her power isn't just physical, it's moral. This battle isn't about strength, it's about belief, about identity, about the choice to rise above what others define you as. When Supergirl tries to make this argument to Galatea, she takes the wrong lesson from it. Instead of standing down when ordered to, Galatea lets her envy of Supergirl overpower her, pretending that her comms piece isn't working. She accepts that they probably won't defeat the Justice League that day, but she will murder Supergirl. This isn't the only way that Galatea defied her programming. Before heading out to face the Justice League, she hugs her creator, Professor Hamilton, and calls him Daddy, which disturbs him. She was never intended to be a person with thoughts or feelings. She was a tool, and this revelation may give Hamilton pause for thought. In the end, it's not might that wins. Galatea fails, despite being stronger, because Supergirl has the support of her fellow Justice Leaguers. #JLAS. Steel intercedes, firing a rocket at Galatea, allowing Supergirl to shock Galatea. She wasn't seen again after this battle, but her twitching fingers and vacant stare suggest that while she survived, she is no longer a threat. Because she refused to be shaped by fear or be used as a tool, Supergirl reclaimed her identity, defended her ideals, and proved that true strength comes from compassion and friendship. Ultimately, Galatea was built to control, while Kara chose to care. And that's the real difference between a clone and a hero. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to do all the things that make YouTube happy. Liking the video, leaving a comment, sharing it with your friends. Have a great day.